All right, Austin. So let's get into this match right here. You v Adam going in on Sunday. Let's look at the rosters right off the bat. And boom, we see, you know, pretty good teams. We got, Geno Smith versus Jared Goff. Geno Smith just on fire right now. Mostart, Sanders, McLaurin versus Pierce, Dobbins, Sutton. I mean, you look at this roster, Pittman and Lamb, they're nice rosters. They're pretty evenly matched before we put the scores up this week. How are you feeling going in on Sunday? Games are getting ready to start and you're thinking, what?
I was feeling pretty solid. We both had a Thursday night player in Cortland Sutton and Michael Pittman. They both did duds, at least for their standards anyway. So I was feeling pretty solid going into it. I felt like I had a little advantage, and I was looking forward to the matchup.
Now we know that with the game breaker, you get to pick one of yours, one of his. Did you know who you were going with right off the bat?
I debated between his running backs a little bit, but ultimately, I pretty much knew who I was going with.
Now, for yours, you went with Mostert, as we're going to see here. There's the scores going in. So as we look at this match is pretty much over after Monday, and we will get into that. But you chose Mostert for yours. You didn't think he was going to do very well. You thought 21 was a pretty nice luxury. So you got to be happy when you know you're going to get 21 out of Mostert per week.
100%. I felt like he was my weak piece. Keenan Allen still is MIA, so I felt like if I could get 21 out of Raheem Mostert, that was going to do great for me. And I thought if he's going to get 21, then my other players would perform and I should be able to get the W.
Yeah, and for he chooses Jared Goff. He kind of did that thinking that you might pick Jared Goff as well, and he could get that double up. Mostert actually ends up having a fantastic day, and you lose a point off it. Obviously, in the total points, the way it turned out, it didn't matter. But if that 1.2 had been the difference. So in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal. But had this been a close match, that 1.2 could have played a difference, especially since he went 7.1. Did you think he was going to go Goff, or where did you think he was going to go?
Man, I must have had a previous game breaker in my head because I just thought you couldn't choose a quarterback. I thought quarterbacks were off the table, so luckily it played to my advantage a little bit because people kind of were overthinking it and thought that they might pick the quarterback and they'll get the double up from that. But yeah, I never thought Goff.
That didn't even see it coming. You're not the only one to say that, so don't feel bad. As the match continues here, you find out that he picks Andrews, and obviously in the grand scheme of things, we got it. But if this had been a close match, I mean, the strategy is there. Adam tells us that he took the tight end because you couldn't take the tight end, and when you have someone like Kelsey or Andrews, it's a pretty smooth choice. Did you think he was going to come after Andrews, or did you think he was going somewhere else?
I thought it was going to be Andrews or Fournette, pretty much. One of the two. I didn't even think about the tight end fact that I couldn't choose him, so that was a great move by Adam Hulse, I'd say.
Absolutely. I thought it was fantastic strategy there. Fournette would have been a great pick for him to make after his 37-point day, but he didn't know that Fournette was going to have a 37-point day. Obviously, he takes the tight end. He knows who he's getting, and he gets Andrews points down. Lamb is the guy that you went with, and of course, you didn't pick Lamb. You picked wide receiver 2. When you picked wide receiver 2, were you hoping that Lamb was going to be there? Was Lamb already in the spot? Did he put Lamb after you picked it? How did that work out for you?
Yeah, he didn't pull any shenanigans, so I was going after Lamb. I was looking at that wide receiver 2 spot, and he kept him there. I just felt like that was the safest play for me with his roster.
It works for him, not so much for you. Luckily, the points were separated enough. He actually adds 10 for himself. You lose some out of it, and that's where we sit. 193.40 to 114.85. A pretty solid victory, obviously. So then we start talking about the high points for the week, and we know that Jordan ends up getting those high points, but you had to think you had a shot at 193.
For sure. Before Monday, I think I was leading like before the game breaker stuff came out, it was like 194 to like 150, 158 or something like that. And he had Derek Carr and Travis Kelce left. And we all know how the Monday night game went. Travis Kelce with 4 touchdowns, Derek Carr with a couple bombs. So yeah, I think it was that last like 50-yard Devontae catch from the points from Derek Carr that solidified that I wasn't going to get it. But I did still have a chance until the game breaker came out, so I still had some hope.
I think he got like 60 or 70 points from that game. It was crazy. Yeah. But all is not lost, and we'll get into that in a second. Who do you have this week?
This week I got Nick. Send him packing. I think he's 1-4. I feel like his roster is a little bit weaker in some spots. I feel like I got the advantage. And I just got to make sure I utilize the game breaker and don't give my opponent, 12, 20 points through that. And I think I should be able to get the win.
Best of luck to you on that. Let's Jordan with the top scorer this week. So he gets the 30 fab. You almost had it, but a little twist thrown in there, and we'll see that your fab money is not looking good. You're down to 0. This fundraisers is definitely coming along. You're fine out the gate. You got 35. Thank you so much for doing that. We know it's not about the fab. It's about the charities, and it's just amazing to see you guys doing that and putting all this stuff together. Dogs for Better Lives, Rescue Support Dog Training. Why did you pick that one?
Yeah, it's actually a super similar charity as Adam Hulse. And I didn't even notice. I just thought it was a great cause. I love dogs, and if we can help out kids and whatnot that need the help and give them that support training dog, I felt like that was a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, no, I think it's really cool. It's really great that you did that. So you're out the gate. Go to thearmchairathletics.com. Click on Austin's profile. You'll see the link if you want to give to Dogs for Better Lives. You can also find his profile on the YouTube channel where you're watching this very show and find the same link. Dogs for Better Lives. Help Austin do some good in the world. And getting himself some fab dollars along the way. $2,000, as we know, almost already raised. We can get that higher to go help out today. Everybody gets the $10. It also gets a portion of the $300 fab dish out every week. 9 people, $34. So you get yourself a little fab money. You got to be excited about that, especially with this week's game breaker.
Yeah, much better than sitting at 0. I'll take 34 for sure.
All right, with people coming, so let's talk about the game breaker, because what happened here, we do the game breaker, the little switch up, and you end up getting to pick the game breaker. Jordan's already picked one. You don't get to pick twice, so it goes to the next highest score. Boom, there you are. So something does pan out of this. How are you feeling, first of all, when you find out, okay, I get to pick the game breaker?
I'm happy. I think it's gonna be fun to pick the game breaker, but I was just like, all right, let's see how we get screwed now.
Yeah, I like the sigh, because it's like, oh, I get to screw myself over. This is awesome. Yeah. So fan of the Sandlot, you go ahead and take the Squints game breaker, and it plays out like this. So as we go through this on the live show and everything pops up, because the way the slide originally shows up is you get the first part, lose a match, lose a starter, and the points go. And then you find out that even if you win, you're going to lose player. And so for me, when I put this game breaker in, when someone told it to me, and as it's going through, I'm immediately thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to grab somebody, go grab some scrub that's not going to get any points. So then they throw in the last part. If that player doesn't score any points, then you lose 10 points. So you can't just grab somebody who's not going to play unless you're just willing to give up the 10 points. But now it's bye weeks also. And of course your opponent is picking the player, so you're not going to know who they picked. You're not going to know who you're going to lose if you win or lose. And since the player takes their score with them, even the bench player, you're going to get that score subtracted. There's a good chance you don't even know if you're going to win. You're going to know what your opponent's score is, but you won't know your own. What is I know you're not going to give up too much. What's the strategy here?
Right away when it happened live, I was just kind of processing, and The conclusion I came to is I just need to set my roster and win. I need to not lose a starter. If I'm losing a bench spot, I'll take it. It's not the worst, and I got to make sure that bench spot isn't going to matter too much. I won't lose too many points, hopefully. So I'll try to get some influence over his choice, and yeah, just win.
That's what I was going to say. Is there some strategy in the way you set up your roster as well this week?
Yeah, for sure. Without giving away too much, I definitely got some strategy. I'm trying to influence who he's going to pick on my bench, and hopefully it works out well. And hopefully it doesn't even need to come to that, but
hopefully not. I asked that because, again, other people have said that. Other people have also talked about setting up a deal with their opponent to kind of lessen the impact. We know Nikki and Gladys are 100% never going to do that. They played Jordan this week, who already stabbed somebody in the back. So just because you make a deal doesn't mean it's going to work. Is our deal something you're open to doing? Do you trust anybody in this room enough to do it?
I would maybe trust someone to do a deal, but I'm absolutely not going to do a deal. I'm with Nikki and Gladys. Their reactions, how Nikki handled it that other week, I let her take care of it. That's how I felt, the exact same way. I just think I'm too competitive. I want to win. Every week matters way too much that I'm not going to give any advantage to my opponent and make a deal.
It was a fantastic reaction. I think it was week 3, week 4. Go back, check out those episodes. You don't want to miss them because it was pretty fantastic. Definitely not a team player with everybody else in the competition. She's here for the money, as are you. So who do you you've got Nick this week. You say you feel pretty confident. You're not worried about his roster. We know the game breaker. How are you feeling today? It's Friday that we're filming this. We've kind of looked at things, but we're still kind of ramping up into Sunday. What's your process? Do you get like kind of more anxious the closer and closer we get? Is like today hump day as far as feeling relaxed, or are you just ready to go all week?
I'm pretty ready to go. You know, Thursday comes around. We had a super boring Thursday night football game. I just love football, so Sundays are pretty amazing because I love cheering for football, and then it's just exciting to watch the sleeper happen and get it over with. Yeah, get the stress over with and see what the final score is.
Well, we'll find out what the final score is on Tuesday. Again, you will know your opponent's score, but you will have zero idea of what yours is. We're hoping for a close match so that everything is exciting on Tuesday. I know you're trying to blow it out of the water and get that top score this week. Austin, have a great weekend and best of luck this Sunday. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
All right, everybody, catch us on the trenches. Catch Austin. Don't forget his fundraiser. Go give him some money, give him some fab, but most of all, support a great cause. And catch the trenches live on Tuesday and then the show on Friday every week. You're not going to want to miss it because guys like Austin, they're coming for it and they're bringing it all. Catch you guys next week. Happy fantasy football, and everybody, take care.